Hello my tribe, my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Sakina here. I was waiting for the perfect time to make this video. There is no perfect time. So I'm taking the time and making it perfect. You know what I'm saying? Today I'm going to be talking about Noah's Ark from a whole different perspective. Spiritual, yes, but there is a little bit of psychology. You know, psychology is my turf. So I'm going to be talking about it from the perspective of creation and the collective ego, shadow, and ego. But before diving into the actual topic, I got a story for you. Something you don't know about me, this is not my first ride on YouTube. I had been on YouTube for over a decade and I was pretty active and taking the whole YouTube experience super seriously for more than 7 years. You can tell a lot about the collective level of consciousness, sleepiness, awakening, healing, shadow, ego, darkness, psyche, and even self-concept from the way people act, react, interact with you in real life and even online. Specifically from the comment section. The comment section, my friend, will tell you everything you need to know about any collective, any crowd. So as I said, I was super active, showing up every single day for 7 years, creating content and putting it out there. And I reached the 500K followers. The comment section in my YouTube channel at the time was wild. Wild. Something worth mentioning, after showing up every single day, making content and creating content on YouTube, I didn't make money. I only made enemies. A lot of enemies. In a sense, I was the enemy. I was the number one, the collective enemy for a lot of reasons. Now let's talk a little bit about the action, reaction, and interaction in the comment section in my YouTube channel. As I said, it was wild. It was full of hatred, darkness, judgment, craziness, laziness. Ooh. A lot of ego, a lot of broken egos, a lot of broken psyches, a religious ego, toxicity, dependency, mockery, ignorance, a lot of illusion, delusion, expectations, rejection, and projections. Denial. And the list is longer than denial itself. Mind you, these are people of faith. These are super religious people. These people pride themselves to be the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Those people are Muslims. I'm not saying there is something wrong with the religion itself. The religion is super fine. But I'm talking about the people. Yes, it's about the people. It has nothing to do with the religion. Because at the end of the day, you only represent and present yourself. I know you know this, but I'm gonna say it today. There is nothing special about you. You are just like everyone else. A broken, lost soul in the labyrinth of darkness. You can talk about the book, the scriptures, or anything. If I don't see it in your actions, you're a fraud. There is nothing special about you, mi amor. You are just like everyone else, a sinner, picking and choosing what works for you, blaming, shaming, guilting, and judging who doesn't sin like you. No shocker, I was raised by people like you, grew up with people like you, worked with people like you, dealt with people like you for over 3 decades. So, I'm not surprised. And if that's how you act and react and interact behind the screen, just because we don't see your face, baby, I don't want to see your face. Just like everyone else, all the broken records, retrograde and old programming, thinking and believing you are better than everyone else. I'm so sorry to break your bubble. There is nothing special about you. Unless thinking that eating pork is special or that halal financing is halal. I'll let you believe what you want. Now, circling back to the actual action, reaction, and interaction of the whole collective, the 500K, and the comment section, in a sense that if I show you the moon and you are talking about my finger, my hands, my nails, my skin, my eyes, my hair, my nose, my teeth, my t-shirt, my cleavage, my bras, you're not there for the moon. You are there for something else. You know what I'm saying? What did I do? Nothing. I didn't understand at the time. I was just thinking maybe this was an anomaly in the whole matrix. Yeah, so I just kept showing up every single day for 7 years, showing them moons and the galaxy and the universe, thinking that I'm doing something for the highest good. It doesn't work that way, baby. It doesn't work that way, baby. It turned out it was the whole matrix. The whole matrix was rigged from the inside for a lot of reasons. On a happy note, thinking outside of the box, I was successfully able to sift through all the illusions and the delusions and the darkness and the judgments and the ego and the broken shadow and the psyche and the wounds and the childhood traumas and all the other traumas, specifically the judgments. And I was able successfully to put them into 4 different categories. Yes, 4 different categories. The first one was NPCs. A lot of NPCs. Pretty significant. Number 2, broke, broken, oppressed, depressed, sad women by choice, leeching on something, trying to feed on something or someone, trying to look for something or someone to relate. I don't fuck with you. Number 3, women who were thinking they got it all figured out. They know everything. They know it all. Who cannot relate? I don't fuck with you either. Because, baby, if you think you know everything, you know shit. Number 4, parasites. Pretty significant. I focused on the NPCs because the other 3, they're not my problem. We are just mirrors, reflecting and mirroring each other. You know what I'm saying? We are just mirrors, energetically speaking, spiritually speaking. We are just mirrors, mirroring and reflecting each other. So, and from the creation perspective itself, if I am the master creator of my own reality, I created that. I created the channel, and of course, I manifested and attracted that collective. And obviously, and of course, and surely, it says a lot about the collective. We know that. But it says something about me. Right. On a soul level, I knew this is not the first time. Yes, I did experience this before. So this is basically a small pattern of an old, broken, vicious cycle. The only difference was it did happen in small groups, meaning small scale. Now this is way bigger. We're talking about 500K. This is a bigger scale. You know what I'm saying? It was basically the perfect time to change the crowd. But before you change the crowd, you gotta change yourself. And in my case, it was super easy because I didn't change. I just remembered who I am, took all my powers back, and worked on my own self concept. Because at the end of the day, trust me and believe me, everything boils down to your own self concept. I went back in space and time to the Big Bang moment of the creation itself, when the seed of creating a channel was conceived. And I asked myself one question, a golden key question. What was the intention, or the intentions, if many, that I had when I decided to create the channel? And I had my answers, baby. I had all my answers. Mission Impossible complete. I was able to get 2 attentions, and guess what? Money was not one of them. Shocker. Yeah, money was not one of them. Of course, that's why I didn't make money. So, 2 intentions. The first one is super personal. I'm gonna keep it to myself because it's my business. The second one was because I wanted to be the change I want to see in this world. And that is exactly how I used to be rolling my previous life. You get what you wish for, sweetie. That's what you get. You gotta be careful what you're wishing for. No money, the broken woman looking for someone to relate to, the ones who couldn't relate, and obviously the parasites. Period. I took a long vacation. I took a long break, an amazing one, well deserved, for like 5 years. I deleted the application from my phone. I didn't check YouTube. I didn't even use YouTube for over 4 years. Yeah, I put myself as a number one priority and I just invested in myself. Period. I started and built a new business, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to the channel that I own free and clear, and I'm gonna start posting my new content for myself because it's my beautiful creation. So obviously, I am in control. I am in control. If I created you with the old belief and the old self concept, you don't exist in the new belief, the new self concept, in the new reality, in this timeline. So, yeah, I'm gonna go back and put myself out there for me with zero expectation from the old collective because, duh, you don't exist no more. And let me tell you, hell didn't get loose. Hell got a diarrhea. A diarrhea. It was a teeny tiny small piece from a way bigger plan that I control. Let me tell you. I could, if I want to, give you a glimpse about what was happening behind the scenes. I just deleted pretty much everything. And the messages, and it was wild and crazy. Again, it says a lot about them, but it says a lot about myself because at the end of the day, I allowed it. And I could obviously give you a glimpse of what was happening as action, reaction, interaction in the comment section. It's not relevant because it doesn't exist in this timeline. You know what I'm saying? It happens mostly when people lose control and access to you. Pretty obvious. I didn't care much. I was just laughing, doing me all the way, putting myself out there, putting content out there, talking about what I want to talk, not caring about the collective, not caring about the followers because I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm no follower. I am a leader. I never cared about the niche because I am the niche. If you see what you like and you like what you see and you feel like there is some value, you're welcome to join in. Otherwise, just fuck off. You know what I'm saying? And now, with the new self concept, I am all about that bag. I am all about that money. And I can do whatever I want because I am in control. I am free as the master creator of my own reality. Period. My whole YouTube experience was wild, eye opening, and I learned a lot. There were so many good lessons for me from the beautiful universe that I took personally and seriously. And obviously, once you learn your lesson, you close a cycle. Does that make sense? And something else. My whole YouTube experience is a channel, is a vessel, is a womb. The whole YouTube channel was just an arc among millions and millions of arcs that I built, created, and manifested for the last 48 years. You know what I'm saying? There are reactions in the comment sections and the sharing and the small chit chat and the groups and the messages and everything else. Says a lot about them, that's for sure. But it says something about me. I am on the right track and I'm doing great. That's it. And as I said, before changing the crowd, you're gonna change yourself and everything else will fall into place, obviously. And for me, it was super easy because I didn't change, I just remembered. You know what I'm saying? And here is the thing about change. The hard, maybe harsh truth about change. You cannot change people who are not willing to change. You just can't. You cannot help people who don't want to be helped, and I learned that one from heart. You cannot awaken people who are so comfortable in their own coma, you know? And obviously, you cannot build with people who don't understand building, who don't appreciate building, let alone create with people who cannot create from themselves and for themselves. In other words, my friends, the whole channel, the womb, and the vessel was a representation of a beautiful big ark that I built, created, and manifested from within. And consequently, not everyone is worth saving. So you gotta choose yourself, work on yourself, change yourself, save yourself. And it was not the first ark that I built or created. It was not the first bridge that I crossed. So yeah, I'ma burn that bridge and that ark to the ground with me in it. Because guess what? I am the master creator of my own reality. And I own it. And here I am in this beautiful new ark in all my glory, doing what I love, doing what I'm supposed to be doing in this moment, because I am exactly what I'm supposed to be. I'm not late. I don't beg, I don't explain, and I never complain. So now let's jump into the actual topic, the actual sauce, Noah's Ark from a whole different perspective. Noah's Ark, the new beginning, collective ego, shadow, and echo. I'm gonna start from the end and then put into small pieces for you to understand. Let's go. To new beginnings, you all. We all Noah, somehow, but you don't know it. Archetypes in Noah's Ark story. The element, the archetype, and the symbolism. We're gonna start with the main character, which is Noah. The archetype is the warner, the prophet, devoted servant. Symbolize endurance, divine mission, emotional resilience. Number 2, the people. The collective ego, which is the archetype, collective shadow, heedless crowd. Symbolize arrogance, mockery of truth, resistance to guidance, truth, and light. Obviously. Noah's son, archetype, tragic rebel, shadow of the father. Symbolize illusion of self-sufficiency, the personal cost of disobedience. The ark itself is a spiritual shelter, is a womb. Symbolize sanctuary for the faithful, obedience as a protection. We have the flood, divine purification, the wrath, and the mercy at the same time. Symbolize external chaos as a mirror for inner corruption, obviously. The last one is the mountain. The archetype is the false refuge. Symbolize human illusion of safety without divine alignment. In other words, and as an archetypal takeaway, Noah is not just saving creation, he is a symbol of spiritual perseverance. The ark becomes a metaphysical boundary. Those who trust the unseen are protected, and those who cling to the seen perish. I can, if I want, but I don't want to break down the symbolic role of water across the spiritual texts and all of them. But I'm not gonna do that for a lot of reasons. Because if you know that you are water, and water is so powerful, sentient, it's a portal, you don't need my help to understand this side of the story. And we could compare Noah's story to Moses, if you will. You both involve water, which is a warning, and an escape at the same time. Circling back to what I said earlier, I'm gonna emphasize on that one because that is the actual sauce of the whole lecture, if you will. You and I as Noah, because you are all Noah, consciously, unconsciously aware of it, we are all Noah. You and I as Noah is your inner calling, that's your divine instructions. Are you listening? The ridicule or doubt you face, that is your people laughing at your ark that you are creating. To basically save everyone, but not everyone could be saved. You know what I'm saying? The ark itself. The ark itself that you are building could be your boundaries, your purpose, your hidden work, anything that you are working so hard to build and protect, something that is so sacred to you and you only. Okay? Now the flood. Not the water per se, but the actual flood, the purge. That is the chaos trying to drown your spirit, your vision, in your own truth. Are you ready? Archetypally speaking, every soul hits that crossroad where one of these two things could happen. You either build when no one else believes, or you drown and someone else disbelieves. We know, and we all talk about Noah like he is just a man from another time, a prophet with a boat, a beard, and a destiny. But I have come to realize something that is super eye-opening, and it could hurt you. Hurt your ego, sweetie, for a while until you understand what I'm saying. Each of us is Noah. Because life will flood you, and before it does, you will hear a whisper. When I say we all Noah, I don't mean it lightly, I mean it literally. That man was you, that man is me, that man is everyone else who is trying to build something, right? Consciously, unconsciously, that's not the question. The ark exists within you, around you, that's not the question. Is it a good ark or a bad ark? That is not the actual question, but it's you, it's all of us. So Noah's story was a blueprint for survival. And let's be clear, Noah was not just building a boat, he was building a response to a divine instruction. And every single one of us is being asked to do the same thing, whether we know it or not. So let's talk about the calling itself. Noah was told to build something before the world saw the storm. Before the signs were pretty obvious. That was pretty much obedience. That's what obedience looks like. Acting on the unseen, trusting the warnings, even when no one else takes it seriously. And that is you, and that is me too. That is everyone, but more than 95% of people are asleep, so I don't know what to tell you. You have had moments where your gut, your intuition, said it's time to move, to change, to protect yourself, to leave, and to build. But the world didn't collapse for you. It did actually question you, and still you had to move. To look at the rejection itself from a whole different perspective. Noah preached for hundreds of years, 950 years of preaching. Most people didn't listen. That tells you something, obviously. Just because you are on the right path doesn't mean you will have company. And from my own experience, sometimes obedience to God, and obviously we don't believe in the same God, will cost you your own circle, your comfort, your money, your old self, even parts of yourself that you thought would come with you. You have got to be willing to be misunderstood because you were supposed to be misunderstood. Yes, because you were supposed to be misunderstood. Not because you want to be different, but because you are different. You are just remembering. You're just letting go of the old programming. You are just letting go and escaping the actual dark power and grip of the collective shadow and collective ego. Because the truth often is different and lonely. Let's dive into the ark itself. The ark wasn't just transportation. It was a protection. It was a boundary. It was a new order. It was a structure that said, I'm not going to drown with this world. Every one of us has to build that at some point of their lives. Maybe it's emotional boundaries. Maybe it's walking away from dysfunction and toxicity and abuse. Maybe it's healing so your children don't inherit your pain. Building your ark is very personal. It's you deciding, I'm going to survive the storm that is coming, whatever it looks like it. And don't expect applause while you're building it, because again, it's your own calling and it's very personal. They laughed at Noah until the rain came. Let's jump into something super juicy, the loss. One of the most painful parts of the story, his own son chose not to enter the ark. Noah begged him so much. But his son thought he could survive on his own, right? At that moment, it's not just about family, it's about ego. It's about the parts of you or the people around you that refuse to believe and surrender. Sometimes, my friends and my beautiful people and my beautiful tribe, you have to let go of someone or something or someone's or many things you love because they're not ready. And you can grieve, you can cry, but you cannot disobey God just to hold onto them. You just can't. The flood was devastating, but it was also cleansing and purifying. It wiped away the false systems, the oppression, and the denial. Everything that couldn't stand on truth drowned. Obviously, that's what trials do. They strip away what is weak, fake, hollow, and shallow, and they test what you built. If your ark is strong, it holds. If your boundaries and foundation is faith, not ego, it floats. Last but not least, the return. After the storm, Noah didn't go back to how things were. He didn't go back in space and time to the past. He stepped into a new world. That is the point. That is the becoming. You don't survive just to repeat. You survive to start fresh with truth, with alignment, and wisdom. Each one of us is Noah. Each one of us is warned. Each one of us is tested on a daily basis. Each one of us has something we are being told to build with specific instructions, and each one of us will have to let something or someone go in the process. You know what I'm saying? The conclusion, the question is not, is the flood coming? The flood is already here, sweetie. It's already here in different forms and shapes and colors. The storm is you. The actual question from my own perspective and my own experience is, have you built your ark? I did. And guess what? You're not coming. I end up not just understanding, but seeing and touching at the same time. The ark. The ark, it's not just a blueprint. It is the blueprint and the mirror at the same time. So make sure your mirrors are super clear. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'll see you on the other side, and happy healing, you all.